Good morning. My name is Reverend Rachel Mash, and I'm the Environmental Coordinator for the Anglican Church of Southern Africa, which is South Africa, Eswatini, Lesotho, and Namibia. And I want to share with you how we have managed to change the DNA of the church through using the structures such as provincial and diocesan synod and the canons. Now, many of us attend synods and maybe we pass a resolution on the environment and then it seems like nobody implements it and we become a bit depressed. And this was happening to us. We had a couple of provincial synods, diocesan synods. We kept passing wonderful resolutions and it felt like there was no action. And then I realized that we need to think about this differently. First of all, when you present a resolution to synod, you have the most amazing 3 to 5 minutes to speak and educate the entire leadership of your church, from bishops to senior clergy to senior laity. Embrace that 3 minutes. And if that's all that happens, you have been able to share your message with them. So make it as creative as possible. Don't just talk about climate change. Show a 1-minute video of the impact of a hurricane in Mozambique. Use PowerPoints, use pictures, make it something they won't forget. Secondly, it is your job to make sure that the parishes and the diocese know about the resolution that was passed. Don't expect the bishops to implement it immediately or at all. They've got another 25 resolutions that have been passed that they might be more interested in. So make sure that at a grassroots level, through using social media, your email, your WhatsApp groups, that people know that the province or diocese passed a resolution, for example, to say that we must audit our electricity bills. It's your job to get it down to the grassroots level. Over the last 10 years, we have passed a lot of resolutions in our province, and then we suddenly realized we actually need to get them into the DNA, into the canons of the church, into the constitution of the church. This will be our legacy for the generations to come. So we began a process of revision of the canons. Now, luckily, the canons were already being revised because we still talk about priests as he and so on. So then we became part of this process of the revision of the canons. Now, it's not easy. You need to talk to canon lawyers and not an area of expertise for me. Speak to the experts, get them to help you, walk you through the process. How do we revise the canons and how do we get that through to provincial synod? So I would like to share with you how we have revised and greened the canons in our province. So here we have Greening the Canons, the Anglican Church of Southern Africa. So the first one is when the Archdeacon examines the parish records and inventory, they must ensure that the parish puts in place ways to reduce electricity, water, and paper usage, not just look at the number of people attending and the financial statements. When they examine parish buildings and renovations, they must make sure that any of those are environmentally friendly. So you need to make sure that there's somebody who can give them that advice. When a clergy person is ordained, they must say, I commit myself to a lifestyle which safeguards the integrity of creation. That means that you need to speak to the Dean of Studies and make sure that training is included on eco-theology and on sustainable living. The duty of the lay minister includes ministry advancing the 5 marks of mission. Well, we realize that most of our lay ministers don't even know what they are. So we passed another resolution saying that each church must put up a poster that tells them what the 5 marks of mission are. And we made an example, a template, which they can use if they want, and they can slot in photographs from their own diocese in terms of these different marks of mission. As an incumbent of the parish, the duties of the priest include taking responsibility for safeguarding the integrity of creation. So this means ongoing ministerial formation. Are we bringing this issue to our clergy conferences and clergy schools? As part of the functions of vestry or AGM, there should be a report on the environmental matters of the parish. So every parishioner has the right to ask the question, will there be a report at the upcoming vestry or AGM meeting? The functions of the parish council include environmental care. This one's very exciting because it now means that every parish should have an environmental portfolio. And we find that often this is a fantastic role for a young person who brings such energy and passion to this role on parish council. The role of the church wardens includes designing and implementing an ecologically sound management of grounds and buildings. So therefore, the church wardens and parish councillors need to be trained in this, and it's a wonderful opportunity to bring it into the way we train the new parish councillors. Before construction of a church or chapel, all alterations should be taking into account the environmental impact. So who can we identify that can advise those undertaking new church constructions? The incumbent and church wardens are responsible for making sure that electricity and water bills are audited and actions taken, for example, switching to lower energy light bulbs. This can be quite exciting because once you start auditing your electricity use, the number of kilowatts used, the number of liters of water used, and realizing how much you can save, it becomes quite an exciting process. And during confirmation class, all confirmation candidates should be taught the 5 marks of mission, which is a practical and doable way of helping young people to understand what mission is. And so after we greened the canons, we put together a small booklet with them in, and also with discussion questions. And we passed a resolution that each diocese should have at that time an online discussion. It was during COVID, on the greening of the canons. And it's been really interesting to be part of some of those discussions and seeing how people get into the idea, and they now want to talk to the liturgical committee about changing the services. We speak to the Dean of Studies about theological education, and it gives a very practical way of really bringing the reality of how to green your canons into your province. So blessings on you in all your ministry and the work you do as you take forward care for creation in your province. Amen.